watching this like, I'm the only child. I don't have no kids, no girlfriend, right? So I'm only caring for myself. And she ends up doing like better than me, these next couple months. So that always, caught my interest. And I was trying to figure out like, how are you doing this? How are you getting 10 deals when I'm stuck at like that 6 to 8? Yeah. Right.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. Guys, we got Elijah Bryant and Sarah Anes here today. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All the way from Tampa.
Us. Yep.
And you guys are killing it in the real estate game. I can't wait to dive into it. So how did you two meet?
So we actually met through mutual friends. We had a group of people that was land flipping in our circle, and that's kind of how we got connected.
So you guys were both flipping land around the Tampa area?
Yeah, so actually before we met, she was kind of going through something, if you want to speak about that. But when I first met Sarah, she was like kind of depressed.
Oh, wow.
She was down. She didn't want to talk to nobody.
Damn. Let's dive into that. I think that's an important message to see how you overcame that.
Yeah. So he was flipping land at the time, and I was kind of just hanging out with people who were flipping land.
Yeah.
But I hadn't actually fully dived in. I was a nurse. So in 2020, when I chose to get a divorce, that also meant that I was choosing to go from a 2-income household to a 1-income household. And I had 3 small children at the time. So my kids were like 0, 2, and 4.
Wow.
So at the time, I'm working like 60 plus hours a week trying to make the ends meet because, a nurse's salary is not enough, to really be able to put food on the table.
For 3 kids, definitely not.
Right. So at that time, I'm seeing Elijah closing deals. I'm seeing all these land flippers closing deals. And I was like, I gotta tap into this. I gotta see what this is about. So I bought a course. But initially, I didn't do anything with it, right? Like I still had that analysis paralysis, which I feel like when you're going through something as traumatic as a divorce and you have 3 small children, that analysis paralysis is really, really real.
Right.
So at that time, my friend it was an old high school friend, she was teaching, and she said, hey, let's go out to lunch, like, let's, hang out. And when we were there, she like laid into me. She was like, what are you doing? Why aren't you land flipping? Like, why haven't you started? Like, what are you waiting for? And I was like, ooh. So that same week, my kids had gotten sick.
Damn.
So that meant I had to call out of work. When you call out of work, obviously I had already worked my overtime. So that overtime check was going to go right in the garbage. So I was like so stressed out and frustrated, and I had that mom guilt for calling out of work, and my kids were like all over me at the time, and I was like, I'm just going to put them in the car and I'm just going to drive. So I put them in the car, I'm driving around my city, and they all fell asleep. And I was like, if you're a parent, like you're not taking the kids out of a car seat once they fall asleep and transferring them in the house. So I was like, I'm just going to start writing down properties. Like I remember in that class that I took, there was a strategy where you drive around and you look for vacant land and you write that information down and somehow you can do something with it. So I was like, that's what I'm going to do.
Manifest.
Right. So I did that. And then the next day I went on True People Search and Property Appraiser site, which are both free sites, because I was working with super limited funds because all my money was going to the baby. And because I did that, I was able to close a $9,000 deal 2 weeks later.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That fast?
Yeah.
Dang.
So that's when it really became real to me. That's when I was like, oh, I'm about to join the land flipping squad. What is this?
So you two got closer during that time?
Yeah, because like I said, when I first met Sarah, she was depressed. She didn't even want to talk to nobody, going through the situation. And our circle, we were at that time, this is when I first started into the land, making 20, 30K a month. And she's just watching this from the sideline, and we're all like
on vacation at that, like taking pictures like with checks, like on vacation. I'm like, how are you guys doing this?
And then our friend is just like, join, you got to do this. Like you seeing all of us make this money. She started 2 weeks later, got that $9,000 check. And it's fairly a simple process, especially we're in Vegas right now. After this, we're going to drive around and look for land.
You serious?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. So that's how you do it? You just drive around and see what land signs are up and sell them?
So we're not even looking for the land sign. Anything we see next to a house and there's a land, that's the opportunity. You know, it's called infill lots. Those are the type of land that we look for. So we're going to drive around, look for those, write down the address, right? Go to Google, go to True People Search. It's a free website where you can find the people's phone number. We're going to put their name, their address in, get their number, and then negotiate the deal from there.
Wow. So these people have land, but they're not using it. So your thing is you help them sell it, basically.
Basically. So we do the direct-to-seller marketing. So there's many different strategies that you could use. That is just one of the strategies. I could do it without having to drive around and look for land using these websites like propstream.com. You could create a whole list of vacant land owners in Las Vegas, right? Once you find a builder, let's say you're a builder, right? I go to Sean, right? I'm coming to Vegas. I want to look for land for you. I see that you're building. You say, Eli, I'm looking for land for $100,000 in this area. So all I have to do is, you know, contact every vacant landowner in this area, offer them $80,000, $70,000. If one person agrees, I make $20,000 for bringing you that deal.
Damn. So you can make $20K a month on the side doing this.
Yes, easily.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this is, you don't need much skills either. You just have the social skills, right? And the knowledge of the land, but it's not too complicated.
Like, all you really have to do is speak to people.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, especially if you're, extrovert, this is definitely the business for you, because all we're doing is having conversations. And one conversation could lead you to $20,000. And you could be working full time as she was, as a nurse.
Are you still a nurse right now?
I'm not. I mean, I still have the credentials, but I no longer work as a nurse.
Made more off the land, so it makes sense,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Plus the time to money ratio is probably better.
Correct. And, you know, for me, like, it was more about the time. You know, I needed my time back because I have 3 small children. So, you know, my time was the most important thing to me. So being able to flip land really gave me that back. Yeah.
So your ex wasn't helping financially with the kids?
So, you know, it's tricky when you're going through a divorce.
I'm a divorced baby. So I know what you mean. It was tough. My dad ran away for a bit. Yeah, financially, it's interesting.
It's a really tricky thing. I feel like it's a really slippery slope, and I feel like when you're first getting divorced, everyone's still trying to figure out where their role is, how, you know, especially when you're a couple who lives together. You know, I know a lot of people, marriages look different, but for us, it was like, you know, I was a nurse, I got married, I had the kids, like, we bought the house, like, we did the whole process. So like, to undo it all and then restart was huge for me. But land flipping gave me the ability to, like, you know, really be able to provide for them the way I wanted to. And that was so important to me because my oldest son, he's 8 now. But at the time, we were also finalizing his adoption because we were foster parents. So at the time, he was 5, and we were in the process of finalizing his adoption. And as a mom, I was like, man, like, I took you from one situation and I put you in this situation. Now you got to be raised by a single mom all over again. Like, now I can't just, like, am I going to be able to give you the life you deserve? Did I do a better job for you? Did I do the right thing pulling you out of this situation? Like, because now you're right back in with a single income house.
Wow.
And I was like, no, I'm going to still give you guys, all 3 of you, the lifestyle that I had envisioned when I chose every single one of you. Like, I'm going to, and I say chose because my other 2 babies were IVF. So, like, when I chose to have all 3 of you, like, I chose a lifestyle for you guys. And just because my current situation is that I'm now divorced is not going to change that. You guys are still going to go to private school. You're still going to eat organic foods. You're still going to get the best water. Like, you're still going to get, it wasn't Gucci, Louis, Prada, YSL. It was like, I'm going to make sure these boys have the life they deserve. They're going to be in every sport. Like,
love that. And yeah, shout out to single moms out there, man. I was raised by a single mother. For sure. And I remember going through this, seeing this process, right? Because, you know, I started like 3 to 4 months before Sarah. Yeah. So
I still get mad about it. Go ahead.
So while we're, you know, closing deals after deals after deals, she's just watching from the sideline. And now Sarah, you know, drive around her neighborhood, finds that deal, makes $9,000. Now she's in the game. So then from that point, she's just getting deals back to back. And I
Damn.
remember watching this like, I'm the only child. I don't have no kids, no girlfriend, no right. So I'm only caring for myself. And she ends up doing like better than me, you know, these next couple months. So that always, you know, caught my interest. And I was trying to figure out like, how are you doing this? How are you getting 10 deals when I'm stuck at like that 6 to 8?
Yeah.
Right. And then I remember she ain't want to tell me at first, but eventually she was like, you know, I'm using this system where I could text, cold call, and direct mail on one website.
Wow.
So when I was doing it, I had 3 different websites. So I had to take my text messaging leads, bring them to my cold calling website, and then the direct mail. A lot of deals would get lost because it's not as organized.
Right.
So with her having that, and now she gave me like the source to it, that's when I started like picking up traction and really started having like 80, 70K, 90K months back to back to back, you know, using that REI Cash.
That's awesome. I want to dive into REI Cash. So it's basically a CRM.
Yeah, it's a CRM. So basically, when I first started, you know, everybody had different avenues of marketing, whether it was texting, whether it was cold calling, whether it was direct mail. And there's several different softwares you can choose from. And so when I started, I'm like, why are we piecing together all these softwares? And I'm like, what software do you use? What software do you use? What software do you use? Asking all the land flippers, I'm like, what are you guys using? And everybody was piecing softwares together. And I was like, this is so inefficient. Like, so I was like, there's got to be somebody out there that can teach this better. So my partner, Megan Gillane, she, at the time, was somebody that I hired to teach me systems in my business. And I was like, you know, now I got this $9,000 check. I got one, but I need to be like Eli. I need to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 months, right? And I was so hungry because now I had one deal while my babies were sick in the back seat, sleep. And like, if I can do that, I could do anything. That was the mindset I got.
Love that.
So I was like, I got to catch up because he started 3 months, you know, a few months before me, and I'm seeing him close deals. And I'm like, had I started then and put the system in place then, like,
Crazy.
That's cool.
so I partnered with Megan, and I was like, there's not, like, how hard would it be to build a software? And she's like, let's.
Are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? Well, click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
Look into it. And so we built REI Cash, and at first, like he said, I didn't want to share because I wanted the competitive advantage naturally.
Yeah.
But once I started closing checks, actually,
Oh, she brought the receipts.
and brought the receipts. So in June, right? And this month is so important to me because this was the same month that I signed my divorce papers.
Wow.
So like that's like one of the hardest things, one of the most like it was a big moment in my life, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't the only thing I signed. So like you can see here, that says what, Sean? June
2nd, 2021.
All right, and how much was that check for?
12,500.
Yeah, and then I got another one here, June 7th,
Yeah.
2,500, and another one on June 2nd for 11,500.
Wow.
And then another one on June 21st for 4,000. And that's because on July 1st, we already came out swinging with a $5,000. So like the software really boosted me because I said, okay, if I can close one deal, I got to close multiple.
Yeah.
And so the software gave me the ability to do that because I could keep everything organized in one place. I can keep all my marketing structured. You know, my campaigns run one right after the other. My follow-ups going automatically without me even having to think twice about it.
Right.
Because in land flipping, one of the most important things is the follow-up.
Sure, in any business, honestly, not just land, right?
Yeah.
And I remember just like I said, just watching this, I have a full team, right?
Yeah.
She's doing this by herself and getting these numbers back to back to back, just like how I'm doing with a full team. So that's where I'm curious, like, okay, I got to really pick your brain. So I remember we actually, you know, we go to a spot, a club, right?
Yeah.
Have a good time there. And I remember after, you know, just sitting with her, like on the curb, just picking her brain, just asking her 1,000 questions, like, how are you doing this by yourself?
Yeah.
You know? And
That's awesome.
that's when she actually told me, And then that's when I got the source as well.
I didn't realize you could do 50, 75K a month with land flipping, man.
Yep.
That's
I had my
insane.
first six-figure month in less than 6 months from when I.
Holy crap. 100K in a month from flipping land. And the margins are really good, I bet, too.
Yeah. The thing about it is not that many people's doing land. A lot of people is wholesaling houses, fixing, flipping houses, things like that, rentals, even realtors. They're more so focusing on houses.
Yeah.
But the land is the foundation. Without the land, you can't do nothing with the house.
That's true.
So if you could acquire the land or negotiate a land deal, because we never really buy the land, right? We find a builder first, and then once the builder gives us a price, we negotiate the deal, bring the deal to the builder, and we get paid a finder's fee for finding that deal for the builder.
Oh, wow.
So this is a business that you could make money without having a lot of money. As she said, she drove around her neighborhood, wrote down addresses, called them up using Google, and then got a deal for $9,000.
Yeah.
She didn't have to spend no money other than gas.
Yeah. And that's how you started too, right? You were pretty broke back then?
No, so I was actually doing houses before I got into land, right? But with houses, like I was telling you, super competitive.
Yeah.
You know, I had to make around 130 offers before I got a deal.
Damn.
When I got to land, it was less than 10 offers for a deal.
Wow.
So that was a big jump. But all that experience that I was getting from houses made it 10 times easier once I started doing the land.
Yeah.
Because now, after every 8 conversations, I'm locking up a deal. These deals could range from $8,000 to $15,000 profit.
Right.
So I remember once I started really getting into the land space, I didn't want to go to sleep. I didn't want to do nothing. I got fat because I was locked in my room, and I just wanted to negotiate and talk to every builder and talk to every vacant landowner in any area I was focusing on.
Yeah. And it's cool because you can do this from anywhere. You guys aren't even, you're living in Tampa, but you're probably doing flips in other states and stuff as well, right?
Yeah, we actually got a deal that we closed recently for $20,000 in North Carolina. But we do deals in Colorado, New Mexico, North Carolina, Florida is our main market,
Wow.
California.
That's cool.
So you could do this virtually, and this is one of the best business because it's virtual. You don't have to see the land. You could negotiate a deal just using your phone and your laptop. You can make money and run a play.
Damn, that's cool. And it's so cool that you don't have to put in a ton of money either, because with real estate, you got to put out down like 10, 20% on a house. I mean, can't really scale that fast.
Nope. So with land, you don't have to. It's just there. You just have to negotiate the deal.
Yeah.
Find the deal for a builder. Tell people you don't want to. A lot of people, we grow up thinking you have to work for wages, right? But when you do that, it's a ceiling on your income. But when you find deals, there's no limit to how many deals you could find. So this is how we're able to make that much money in a month, because if we could find 10 deals, 15 deals, and they all ranging from 5 to 10,000 or 15,000, that adds up.
Yeah. And you don't need to do too much volume, which is cool too. Just like you said, 5 to 10 deals a month.
Yeah.
Super doable.
But the goal is to get to 30, 40,
Are there people doing that?
The most I got was 17
Damn.
deals in a month. Because right now I have a community of people that I teach the game as well.
Yeah.
And I minimize their workload as well as mine. And how I do that is by working together. I truly believe if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And what that looks like with my students is I already have the builder's criteria lined up. So I have the areas they're focusing on, the prices they want, and how many lots they're looking to buy in the next 30 days. So I broadcast that to my community, and now they're searching for it. And then whatever they find, they bring it to me, and we work out a 50-50 split because I already have the builder lined up.
Damn.
So if they're working a 9-to-5 job, they don't have a whole bunch of hours looking for land, right, or looking for builders. But if I already have the builders lined up, the area to focus on, and what price you to offer, it just makes it so much easier. And now you lock up a deal, we work together, we close it out, and we can make some money together.
If we had this when we started, it would have been so much easier.
Yeah.
And in his course, the way he breaks down land is it's so, he makes it so elementary that you truly can start this business and really change your life. I'm so passionate about it just because, like, when I think about myself back then and, like, how sad I was and how depressed I was, like, and how hard it was to really take that leap of faith and, like, really start this and then stay consistent, you know, and having something like this that makes it so much easier to get started, and then you have the system to keep you consistent. Like, there's no reason that you're not making money if you're interested in flipping land.
Yeah.
And you're grinding.
Yeah. And I like that you could do it on the side so people can prove it out first, even with their main job. And then if they make a deal or two a month, they can quit that job, right?
Yep. And that's what I tell people all the time. I'm glad you mentioned that, right? Start off by working with somebody. When I moved to Florida from New York, right, I didn't have much money, but I worked with another real estate company, which gave me a lot of experience. What I'm providing for, you know, my community is basically like, I'm going to make your life easier by having the builder, the criteria. All you have to do is negotiate the deal. Now, once you get a deal or two, like you said, and you like, Eli, I could do this now. I could do this by myself. Then you start doing it by yourself. And now you create a legacy for your family, your kids, or however you want to structure your business. But my job or my goal that I feel like I'm bringing into this world is just making it easier for the next person to get in, and one hand wash the other, both hand wash the face. Let's make it easier for each other.
I love that. Did the current real estate market affect the land stuff at all with the high interest rates?
So last year it was a little bit, but builders were still buying. With land, it's a little bit different than the actual housing market. But now that, you know, interest rates is going down, and big investors like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, they invest in millions, 700 million. Warren Buffett, he just invested into D.R. Horton, one of the biggest builders across this nation.
Wow.
In my mind, right, as being a land flipper, I need to make at least 13 to 20 million from that. And that's on the very small end, right?
Yeah.
But if we could put that mindset on, I want to find deals for these builders such as D.R. Horton, this is how we could get paid a lot of money. And now that he invested so much into them, they've been buying so much more.
Wow.
Last year they was looking for 30 a month. Now they're looking for like 60 to 70 a month.
Damn, lots?
Yes, and
Holy
I can't
crap.
fill that order
even fill
by
that.
myself.
Wow.
And this is why I partner and work with a lot of people that I teach the game, because if we could do it together, it's how we could all eat.
Yeah. Which states were they buying in?
Almost everywhere right now, D.R. Horton, but
Holy crap.
mainly, like I said, Florida. Like, Florida is like one of the best markets for the infill strategy because there's so many infill lots. Like, if you drive to Florida now, you might see a house, but then you're going to see a vacant lot, empty land, then a house. That empty lot, that's the gold.
Dang, that is so crazy. There's a lot of empty lots out here, too.
Yeah, we're going to look after.
What a fun job, man. It sounds like you guys are having fun while you're making money. I love that.
Yeah.
Some people are working hard and they don't like their job, you know?
And this is why this is that perfect opportunity, because it's not something that many people are doing. It's still a very new niche within the real estate, because not that many people's talking about it. If you go to YouTube right now and you type in wholesaling real estate, all you're going to see is house and fix and flip.
Yep.
Nobody's talking about land, which gives it a great opportunity for new people coming in and getting started right away. She got her first deal in 2 weeks. I got my first deal in 3 weeks when it came to land. And many of my students, they get started, they get a deal in less than a month.
That's very rare in any industry to have results that quick.
Yeah.
Usually it takes years of like putting in effort, but this you could do it within a month. It's
Within
cool.
a month.
And land's not going anywhere, man. There's a housing shortage right now. They're going to be building on it for decades at this point. We're so behind. I don't know the exact number, but something high.
And they're, you know, new babies is being born every single day. You know, a lot of them. And across the nation, 18,000 lots sell per month. So that's another thing I tell my students. Think about that. 18,000 lots, and we could negotiate deals anywhere across the nation. So you telling me you can't get one deal a month? Like, you just either lazy or you don't know the knowledge, right? But once you have the knowledge, if you apply it, that generational information turns into generational wealth.
Powerful. You guys got goals for this company?
Yeah.
Big goals.
Big goals.
Let's hear them. Let's manifest them.
So So go ahead.
So my goal is, I've been buying a lot of lots, even though that crypto is going up right now. My goal is to take that crypto money and even buy more influx of lots. And once I get a good amount, start to develop on these lots. My goal is to develop on each one of these lots at the same time so I could have a multi-million-dollar year just off of the lots that I bought in the previous past. So that's really my big goal within this business.
Yeah. So it's very similar. I want to definitely continue to invest in land, continue to build a portfolio to hand down to my kids. And then as far as like my software goal, we currently are continuously adding things. So now we went from just having text messaging, direct mail, and cold calling. We're now the only CRM that has a multi-line dialer built in, as well as a skip tracing software built into the system. We give you guys the system already fully automated. We have pipelines pre-built so that you guys can organize your leads from the minute you upload them until the minute they close. So my goal is to continue to add things to this software to continue to make it easier for people to flip land and make money doing it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow. Where can people find you, and any websites to promote or any courses or anything like that?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Thy Book of Eli. My Facebook is Elijah Bryant. I do free classes every Monday at 8 p.m. Every single person that's watching this, you're more than welcome to join. I literally give the game for free, like break it down from step A to Z on how to find a market, a builder, and the vacant landowner. So definitely I highly suggest you join those classes, because right after that class, you could get started right away. And then from there, tap in.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And then you guys can find me at Systemized Sarah, Systemized with a Z, and then Sarah with an H. And you guys can also follow REI Cash _ on Instagram. And I'm also on those calls on Mondays. So you guys have questions, come to the calls, because we answer your questions when you guys leave them. He's giving out completely free game, which we all think he's a little bit crazy for. But he gives it out for free every week. So, and I love helping people, so I hop right on there with him. So,
And we'll link it below. Thanks so much for coming on, guys.
For sure. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching as always, guys. See you tomorrow.